Do you ever find yourself in this predicament? Do you have trouble making profits or gold? Are you tired of people leaving you out of raids because you don't have expensive cards? If you've said yes to any of those, I welcome you to this video, where I'll try to help you get on your feet and make profits. In this video, I'll explain how you can earn money and profits, and it will be split into 3 sections: beginner, mid-game, and endgame, and how to make profits in all of those sections. To clarify, a beginner is generally someone level 10 to 20 who has started the game not too long ago. Beginners usually have 1 to 2 legendaries and a few ultra rares and no meta cards. A mid-game player is someone who is level 21 to 30, but with little to no meta cards, and has around 5 to 6 legendaries. And an endgame player is someone who has a decent amount of meta cards and is pretty well off. There's also what I like to call tryhards, which are beyond endgame players who have massive amounts of cards and even some high-end unobtainables, and even have multiple meta cards, as in multiple copies of them. There are 2 ways of profiting: number 1, grinding, and number 2, trading. Trading I wouldn't recommend unless you're endgame or need a card. However, as for grinding, it's free gold, while at the expense of your free time. I don't recommend trading for profits for anyone unless you're in the tryhard category, and even then, trading for profits consists of buying high-end unobtainables and holding on to them until they rise, which is extremely slow. However, the best way to make profits is by grinding enemies and bosses. Some bosses like Cedrian and Skeleton King drop a 1 to 2% legendary card drop that fetches a good price. Cedrian drops her signature Channel Arcane Barrage, which as February 2023 is worth around 30,000 to 50,000 gold. As for Skeleton King, he drops the largest amount of gold on kill, and his Royal Claymore can sell towards a price range of 20,000 to 30,000. For beginners, there isn't much I can recommend since you are already very vulnerable and lack basic cards needed for bosses and enemies. However, there are a few things I can advise you to do for profits: bandits or elite bandits. You can farm bandits for their card drops and outfit drops. You can try to sell the drops to players for gold, or you can sell the cards to Jarvis for its respective price. You can also trade the bandit outfits for bandit cards, which you can sell to Jarvis or other players. The second and last thing I can recommend doing is Drawn, Kishuf Send. I know, why would I recommend an endgame boss to a beginner? Well, it's simple. There's a 5-minute strategy that requires basically nothing, around 1 to 2,000 gold needed in cards. I won't show the strategy in this video, but I'll leave a link in the description to do it. Drawn drops around 250 gold per round, golem plate armor which can sell for 5k gold, and the most important drop, pilfered souls. Pilfered souls are decently rare drops that can be traded with an NPC for a legendary called Darksteel Longblade, which you can sell to players for 10k gold or 10k value cards. I'm not sure if this strategy has been patched yet or not, but if it has, I'll make sure to state it in the future. Make sure to be level 5 to 10 before attempting this, because Drawn has an attack that can one-shot you otherwise. Just a note that in the 5-minute strategies I have 2 ice spikes. You only need 1, but it's going to be slower, and it's going to turn into a 10-minute strat and have a higher chance of death. Congrats, you've made it to the middle game. You are now level 20 to 30 and have around 1 to 3 meta cards, and a few cards you might need. The middle game is generally where you lock many ways to make profits and also want to make profits and increase your treasury for future events. Some cards I strongly encourage getting are Hellfire, Burning Pledges, and Shadow Trades, and maybe Channel Arcane Barrage. However, I won't punish you for not wanting to get Barrage just yet, as it has very little uses in the middle game. Some ways of making good profits in the middle game are Nicole Rin. Nicole is a boss found in Snowville that has fairly decent drops. She drops around 150 gold, a Goldify crate that can sell for about 1 to 2,000 gold, a legendary protection seal, 1% drop, which sells for 2k gold. She also drops a mysterious staff that, together with a magic steel, Drawn drop, can be used to make a staff of Azure that sells for 10,000 gold. And she also drops Pilfered Souls for Darksteel Longblade trade-ins. Her strategy is pretty simple and cheap. The Drawn strategy still works for middle game players. If you have Hellfire, you can reliably do Cedrian, which in my opinion is the second best way of making profits in Hexaria, as her raid drops a bunch of cards that you can sell to Jarvis, but she also drops her channel Arcane Barrage, which to my knowledge is the most expensive obtainable card in the game. She also drops around 200 gold each raid. Kishu Elementals. Kathrul, Demos, Waylon Syndra are pretty good methods of making money. You can get unstable energies, which 5 energies can be traded for an ultra rare card that you can sell to Jarvis for 150 gold. Waylon drops a card called Burning Pledge, which sells for around 6 to 8,000 gold and is also a meta card. Love Lost is a good way for money. There are many strategies for Love Lost that don't include unobtainables. Love Lost drops about 1 to 4 blood bags that can sell for 500 gold each. These bags can also drop legendary and other cards. Love Lost drops around 200 gold, however it takes around 15 minutes usually to do Love Lost. Thamoth. Thamoth is also a good way for making profits. Thamoth drops Agni Seal, around 200 gold, and pages that can be traded for Hellfire. And Thamoth drops Pilfered Souls and Trick or Treat back. King Dillahan. Also the best way to get profits in my opinion. King Dillahan drops Trick or Treat bags, Dragon Ashes 10,000 gold, Dragon Crystals 1,000 gold, Trick or Treat the card, and most importantly, King Candies, which you can trade in for items, cards and outfits. Some items you can get from King Candies fetch a price of 70,000 and above. King Dillahan also drops 200 gold. Some other ways that aren't as good as the previous ones, but you could also do are King of Thieves and the Graveyard Raid. They both drop Pilfered Souls, respective legendaries, and some ultra rares. They both drop around 100 gold. Again, this is not recommended, but it's alright. Personally, I just do the drawn solo instead. Now you've probably done some grinding on your own and made it to the end game. This is no easy task, so congratulate yourself and let me tell you some ways to make profits. Anything that the middle game can grind for good profits is still good for endgames such as Drawn, Thamoth, King Dillahan, Nicole Rin, Cedrian, Love Lost. However, things like Gonaku and King of Thieves are not so good anymore. Skeleton King is a good and viable now. However, there's this one powerful method that is so powerful that it can get you so many profits. Multi-account grinding. You can use multiple accounts to get double rewards for the price of one. There's also a way to get 4 accounts on one device via Process Explorer, a Microsoft product. I won't show how to use it, but you can look up videos on that. During Halloween/K-Pack or Cedrian, using 4 alt accounts can reap you massive rewards. Personally, I made 2 million value just from 4 alt grinding King Dillahan alone for about a week. Today I showed you a few ways to make profits. I hope I helped you in some way or at least reinforced some ideas. Obviously, there are way more ways to make profits, so experiment around and see what works with you. Other than that, thanks for watching and have a good day.